Hi guys, Chris here with the Cube i7 book. Now you might have seen my videos on the i7 Stylus. This right here is the successor to that model. It has now an updated chipset. So it's got the new 6th generation Intel Core M3 Skylake processor in there. The RAM is still the same. It still has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 64 gigabyte SSD. And one of the good things about it too now is it has dual band wireless AC, which is an Intel chip in there with apparently 2 antennas. I've seen photos on the internet of the internals of this, and there are 2 antennas, so that is good there. Still got the same screen, so it's still a 1080p 16:9 screen, but it does support Wacom Styluses. Now in this video as well, I'm going to unbox the keyboard that you can also buy. It's an optional extra that's here in the background, and the stylus as well that I have. So just get it open, it's all sealed up, which is good. Now I did also get separately the power supply that was in the box, and they've given me an EU one, so I assume, yes, there is no power supply in there. So let's have a look first at the accessories. There is only one, so they've given us an adapter for micro USB 3 to full-size USB 3 port, which is good there. This also has a USB Type-C, and there's a USB 3.1 port on the actual tablet. And the rest of the stuff here is just instructions, whatnot, warranty card, VIP membership. It's all in Chinese, so not really relevant at all. So let's have a look at the tablet. Okay, so it still has the first layer on there, which is good, the first screen protector, and the design of it, I can see already that it looks very similar to the i7 Stylus, and we do have that same paint job, which I call the cube metallic-y blue kind of paint job that they use. It's quite easy to scratch this. So on the bottom here I can see already a difference straight away. So we've got 10 pogo ports instead of the 5, and that is for the keyboard dock, which I will test out and see if it actually has USB 3 ports on it. I'm not really too sure about that, but we'll look at that soon. And there are the 2 slots there. It's a transformer style keyboard. And on the right hand side here, so that's where all the ports are, we have a DC in, USB, micro USB 3 there, the Type-C. Now you should be able to charge as well, just like the Cube i9, be able to charge with this Type-C plug as well. There's a micro SD card slot, and I will test this out and see if a 128 gigabyte card will work. There's the headphone jack, which should also support microphones. And along the back here, this is a rear 5 megapixel autofocus camera. They have used plastic up the top here. This metal backing is all made out of alloy, but this part plastic because that does aid the reception of the antennas there for your wireless and your Bluetooth. So hopefully the range on that should be quite good. So along the top left hand corner we have a little button there. That is actually a reset button for the BIOS. If you hold that down for 4 seconds, that will reset the BIOS. But you shouldn't really be messing around it in the BIOS. There's a power button, of course, volume up and down, and nothing else there. So along the front is a 2 megapixel front facing camera. And on the right hand side of the tablet we only have 2 grills there for both of the speakers. Unfortunately they're not going to offer very good stereo separation in this configuration. Hopefully these are going to be louder than the i7 Stylus. I will test them out in the review. And the build quality, it seems really good, just like the i7 Stylus. Not bad at all. Very, very strong feeling. I can't feel any flicks in there. And at this point in time, just unboxing, I don't see any build quality issues. The finish seems really good. So let's get the screen protector off it and power it up. Hopefully there is some battery in there. Sometimes the batteries do come on in transit. So let's have a look. It seems like it has, oh no, there we go, it does have battery, that's good. So while that is powering on, just get the box out of the way. I have a look at the keyboard now. So if you remember the i7 Stylus, that had a fixed position keyboard, so you couldn't actually change the position. You just had one position for the screen. Love it or hate it, you were stuck with it, which was a little bit of a shame, but hopefully this keyboard is going to be a little bit better. So the screen size being 10.6 inches doesn't allow for a huge keyboard, but hopefully it will still be practical enough. So we see there that it has just a couple of things outlining there. So USB, both USB 10, sorry, 10, USB 2 ports, and no such thing as USB 10. So it actually looks quite nice, the build of that. So it looks very similar to the build of the iWork 10 Ultimate keyboard actually. So it's metal along the top here, and the trackpad is not just gestures, there are hardware left and right mouse buttons there, and the keys do look quite good actually. So you see all metal, there are rubber feet here that should keep the screen from getting scratched by the keyboard, and you see there are those pogo pins on the bottom. So the backing of it is made out of a matte plastic sprayed with that same color, and that is plastic. There are 4 feet, and there are the 2 USB 2 ports there. So just have a look and quickly see how this docks. And I will measure the thickness of both of them and the weights and everything. So it comes out to be quite a nice little unit there. And the last thing I have to take out of the box is the stylus. Now they did slightly redesign this, but the old stylus will still work. I actually have one of the old styluses here that they gave away when they had the sale. So that was that brown colored one. And that's a Wacom Stylus, so that will work. And I can see that's already working, but we'll have a look at the new one. So they give you a little metal clip here that is to actually just to pull out the plastic tips on it. Once those get worn, I can see they have actually included there's some spare tips, so you can use them. There's 5 of them, 5 spare tips. It'll take a while to chew through all of those, I would imagine. So that's one of the key features of this particular tablet is the stylus here, because the Wacom styluses are really good. They don't require an expensive quadruple A battery. I can't seem to get this thing out. There we go. So no battery is needed at all, and as soon as it's close, a palm rejection should come to play there. So that is the other stylus, which they're pretty much the same, aren't they? They did have one that had the tip here in red, but you can see there's just a higher quality plastic. This one here made out of black plastic, but they will function exactly the same. So I'll just have a look at the total weight of the whole thing together. So the tablet docked to the keyboard. See what that comes in as. So a little hard to see there. So that is 1.38 kilos, both of them. And if I undock this, hopefully, it's quite easy to undock there, just a straight pull. And the tablet itself is 720 grams. And look at the thickness too of the tablet. There is no real thickest point, so that is 10 millimeters, so that's not too bad, but definitely not winning any awards for the slimmest tablet. So another look at the keyboard. I find that the touchpad accuracy seems alright. Windows gestures, definitely they are supported. Now I'll just go into search here and have a look under mouse and touchpad settings. Unfortunately, I can see that those gestures cannot be disabled, which is a little annoying. That comes down to driver support there. Hopefully that can later be corrected in the future. So we do have function key here that allows for page up and down, home, end. And we also have number lock and scroll lock there. And there is a dedicated print screen button, which is good to see, because I use the print screen a lot. Normally when I'm doing my reviews and things, I like to do the print screens and take the benchmarks, for example, to show the scores. And just the normal media keys are along here. So to get the access to the F1 to F12 there, that again is via the function key. And the layout of it seems right, even though it is a little bit smaller there. There's both my hands on there. I don't have particularly large hands. And it's just a quick type hello there. That seems alright. The flex is virtually non-existent. It does feel very premium and solid. The fact that they have used this metal on the top there is good to see. And the trackpad, once that is disabled, you will see that the little status LED up there will light up red, and there's a second status LED that is white when your caps lock is on, so that lets you know if you've got it on or not. So overall, I do really like this keyboard so far, but I will be back with more on this keyboard and the full review, of course. So because of the new style keyboard we have, we can actually flip the screen around now and use it in what's called like a presentation mode. So it just doubles like a tablet stand here, so you can flip it up this way and you can watch a movie example or do things like this. And the other way is you can use it like a tent mode and just flip it around this way. And there it is, like a tent. And in the presentation and tent modes, the trackpad actually still works. The keyboard still works this time because of the 10 pogo pin that it has on there. So you still have access to the USB 2 ports. And for those that want to know the rating of the power supply, it is 12 volts, 2.5 amps. And the connector for it is 3.5 millimeters. And the positive is in the middle and negative on the outside. So first impressions of the screen, it does look really nice and bright. And the current brightness that it booted up, well, let's have a look here now. So that's 75%. There's 100. Let's see how dull that gets. So 0%, actually I can hardly even see that. So that'll be good for nighttime use. 25% there, 50, and back on 75. So have a look now at the amount of free storage we get on first boot before I start to install my benchmark apps and everything else. So we get 46.7 gigabytes free. And move over to system and just check that out too. So holding down on the Windows button here, that creates a right click with the stylus. So quick look in system. So we have Windows 10 Home, 4 gigabytes of RAM that is fully available to us there. They haven't allocated any more to the GPU, and it is the Core M3 6Y30. Just scroll down and see that Windows activation, I do have to connect to the internet for that, which I will do later on. I don't imagine there will be any problems there. So in Device Manager, have a quick look and see what the disk drive is. So they're using a 4C 64GB SSD, which is a little bit of a shame that it's only 64GB. I hope they will actually release 128GB models releases. And you should actually be able to upgrade that too. You'll have to open, of course, the whole case up, which is a lot of work involved. But if you do that, then you can replace that with a M.2 22mm by 42mm SSD. And the wireless card is an Intel dual band wireless AC 3165. So that is really good to see that finally now. It's 2016 and we're finally starting to see now dual band wireless cards, because the Q by 9 that only had a single band wireless in 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth that was on, and now we have the 5 gigahertz band as well as the 2.4, which is good because the 5 gigahertz definitely performs a lot better with less interference from Bluetooth and it runs mobile phones and everything. Alright, so that's just the first hands-on and the unboxing, and my first impressions seem very good so far. So we'll be back with more videos on this particular model. If you are interested, have a look at the playlist. Keep an eye on that because the videos will be uploaded there. There will also be more information posted on TechTablets.com. And hopefully I will catch you back soon with the i7 book here. Thank you for watching this video.